Hey, what's up, people? It's Tony again. Just thought I'd go on live a little bit. Hoping I get some viewers. I just want to talk. Need to express myself. I don't know. Life. But God is good. God is good. You know, He blessed me so much. He blessed me with a lot of things. It could have been worse for me, but He blessed me. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for Jesus Christ. Um, I'm just, taking it day by day. But I just want to say it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not. But I'm thankful that I got a strong mind and a strong character, that I'm able to handle it, and not get worse than what I am mentally. I mean, life changed drastically for me, really bad. It changed a lot. And reality hits me almost every day. Reality hits me. Um, oh, my phone is dying. Hold on a second. Give me a break over here, people. Let me hold on. Give me a second, people. Um, here we go. Okay. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful I could plug in and plug out, right? You know, um, um, it's going back to what I was saying. It's tough, man. Every day reality hits me. It makes me realize that I lost everything with my eyes being shot the way it is. That's visually blind. Um, everything died for me. You know what I mean? I'm trying so hard to be strong. And I'm trying. Yep, yep. um, I try so hard. It's difficult. What I miss the most is being able to see like everybody else, being able to see the sunrise, the sunset, taking a walk, when and see normally, because I do take walks, but I don't see normal. You know what I mean? Um, it really, most of the time, I'm sitting down in a room like I am right now. I'm back home. My sister dropped me off like an hour ago. When I was in her house, I took like two walks, went around the block like twice. But then I would just sit in my other room thinking, I have a lot of shit in my mind. Like, it's tough. A lot of things running back and forth my brain. A lot of like, regret. A lot of regret, and I feel like I took life for granted, which I don't feel that way kind of, because I took every second, every minute, every day. And I went out. I would jump in my car and travel all over Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Even if nobody wanted to go with me, I would travel by myself. And it was amazing feelings, man. Like, it, when you're by yourself and you take road trips, of course, you got to have a full tank, a good car. Almost all my cars were able to take me wherever I wanted to go. And most of all, I worked a lot. I had a good job. Always had money in my pocket and always had a full tank. And I would just bounce. And every time I would go somewhere beautiful or just on a road trip and find a beautiful place, I would just look up in the sky and thank the Lord every day. Every day I would see beautiful places that the Lord put upon me, and I would thank Him every day for giving me the opportunity to see the beauty. You feel me? The beauty of the world, of the outdoors, of giving me the opportunity to do whatever I wanted, drive wherever I wanted, even if it was midnight. I had this thing called a midnight drive where if I wasn't working that night, I would get up, take a shower, get dressed, and get in my car and go for a ride. I would pick up a friend of mine, um, a brother actually. His name is Freddie. Um, give me a chance over here. This is my thing for my blood sugar. um, it says I'm 251. That's high. Look, 251 blood sugar. But this machine sucks because I wind up pricking my finger and use the blood machine versus this machine, and I compare them, and this one is too high and the other one is normal. So this little gadget over here sucks. I gotta get an iPhone, which I'm planning to get. I'm planning to get an iPhone and you download the app and use the app on the iPhone because I heard that the iPhone works pretty well. It works really good. But this crap over here, it's a freestyle. I can't read it. Freestyle three, freestyle, freestyle three. Oh, I dropped it. Um, but anyways, back to my story. I'll never forget, man. One day I came out of work around 6:30 in the morning, and I was working in Amherst, Massachusetts. I was doing security because that's what I did. I did security. They they were paying good, so I was doing it. And it was the it was like spring, right? So instead of going home, I went to the Quabbin Reservoir. If anybody is from Massachusetts and lived in Amherst or whatever, you know which way I had to go to from Rolling Greens apartments in Amherst towards the Quabbin. So if you guys are from out there, you'll know which direction I had to go. And I went over there, and at 7 o'clock, the gate was open. I went in, and I went to the area where it's a beautiful, beautiful scenery. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Like I'm on top of the hill. The scenery was so amazing, and I broke down and cried, and I thank God for that opportunity to see the world that way, to see the Quabbin like that way. It was so beautiful. It was like the perfect time. The sun was already getting up there. It was a beautiful feeling, man. I felt it in my heart, and it was amazing. And I think I got it recorded. If you look down on all my videos, you'll probably find it. I think it's I said the Quabbin Reservoir early in the morning. I'm not sure. If I can't remember. In Belchertown. But yeah, it was amazing. I'll never forget that day. Never. It was so beautiful, man. And these are things that I did a lot. I did a lot. I wasn't a bad guy. I didn't use heavy drugs. I did my dirt, but it wasn't my fault. I got addicted to tramadols, and it was because back in 2008, I had a back injury, and the doctors started giving me Percocets. And around that time, 2008, perks were addicting. So I told the doctor, I don't want that. I don't want something that's going to ruin my life. I seen my friends destroy their lives because of that damn pill. You know what I mean? So he came with another pill and told me, I said, what are these? And he said, those are tramadols, 50 milligrams. They will help you. They're not going to get you addicted. You could take them and not worry about addiction. It's not considered an addicting medication, right? So I started taking them. The first day I took it, I was sick. I was throwing up. So I called my doctor up, and he told me, don't just take one, take two at a time, and that'll go away, right? So I tried two, and it just activated something in my brain. Like it activated like happiness, no care in the world. I wasn't worried about nothing. I felt great. And ever since that time, I started, I continued taking them for the pain, for the back pain, which it was helping me. But mentally, it was helping me more. I remember the day I ran out of the meds, but I didn't think nothing of it, right? So I waited like a week to go to the hospital and ask for it again. But I didn't ask for it. I just went over there and said I got back pain, blah, 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 blah. And in the hospital, one of the doctors came in and he said, it seems in my chart that you was taking tramadols. And I said, yeah, but I ran out of them for like a week. And he goes, oh, I see what's your problem. I'll be right back. And he left, came back like 20 minutes later with one pill. Guess what? It was a tramadol. He came down to me with a tramadol, 50 milligrams. He told me with a cup of little water, he told me, take this and let me know in a half hour how you feel. I was like, I guess, right? Boom, he left. I took one, drank it. It didn't take a half hour for the pain on my center of my stomach to stop. It took maybe like 15 minutes, and I felt great mentally. I was like, you know what I mean? And he came back, and I said, he goes, "How you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling like $1 million, man." He goes, "Really?" I said, "I feel great, man. I'm telling you, I feel great." He's like, "That was your problem. You needed to continue taking your meds, right?" And I said, "Wait, hold on a second. What are you telling me is that the symptom that I was having that made me come to the hospital was an addiction? I'm addicted to these medications?" And he turned around and said, "No, you could take those for life and you would never get addicted." This is from a doctor from Bay State telling me this, that I could continue taking them and I will never be addicted to it. Meanwhile, I'm already having addiction, symptoms. So I I listened to him and I continued taking them since 2008 until 2025. I continued taking them, and I would buy them off the streets because the doctors, I didn't have no insurance. I didn't have a doctor. I neglected my health. I'm a diabetic. I didn't care. I would eat anything. I would eat Chinese food like crazy. That was my favorite shit. Chinese. Chinese every single day. I would boom. Super combo meal number two. That was my favorite. It was lo mein with pork fried rice, um, boneless chicken on a stick, two of them, and broccoli, broccoli with chicken. It was an amazing dish, man. It was like yay big for just $10 at the time. Then they boosted to like 22. After the pandemic, they started raising they started raising it, raising the price on everything. But I didn't realize that the tramadol was masking my heart condition. I didn't realize because I was drinking power drinks a lot just to stay awake to go to work, and taking my pills and not paying attention to my sugar, nothing like that. Because I felt okay. I didn't feel sick. I didn't, you know what I mean? And lo and behold, in 2025, it was cold. I went to walk at the Quabbin. It was wicked cold. But I'm a person that I can't, I used to solve my problems with my depression walking, going out, leaving the city, and traveling towards the countryside and looking at the beautiful areas. So I would do that. And that day I went to the Quabbin, it was cold. I was bundled up. I had fucking a hoodie, a bubble jacket, two jeans, yeah, two pairs of jeans on, two socks. I was ready for the walk. So I walked it. And on my way back towards the car, I started getting a sharp pain in my heart that went up my neck to my jaw, and it just killed me. It was like terrible. I had to slow down, and I just clenched my heart, and I sat down for a minute, but it was cold. So the cold was stopping me from breathing right. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna die here. I need to keep moving. So I get up and I continue walking. Um, and I'm walking, and I'm still struggling with breathing. Once I got to the car, opened the door, slammed the door, closed the door, and I started breathing. Turn on the car, turn on the heater, and I started telling God, God, please, whatever this is, uh, protect me. Don't let this be bad. Like 5 minutes later, I felt better. I felt good. and I didn't think nothing of it. I thought it was just the power drinks that overreacted on my body that made my heart, hurt or whatever. I didn't think nothing of it. So I drove away like nothing, normally, like normal. I drove away like it never happened. Got home, ate some Chinese, um, and enjoyed my life. I continued enjoying my life there. But no, I didn't know that it was masking. The pills were masking the pain, and I caught a bad one. I had to rush to the hospital. I rushed to the hospital. Um, the guy did some, heart telegram, like paperwork that shows how fast your heart is going. And he told me that there was a glitch, and it seems like I did have a mini heart attack, right? So he's going to send me to the other hospital so they could do the professional with the professional stuff and check my heart. So I went to the other hospital. Over there was a bunch of college students waiting for me. College doctors, college. They look like college students to me, and they were telling me what's gonna happen. They said we're gonna check your heart, and if we see anything clogged, we're gonna unclog it with this tool that goes in my vein and goes straight towards my heart on my arm, and so I'm thinking, okay. He goes, it's painless and it's quick. You don't have to worry about nothing. All right. They did it. And when they did, there was an Indian young doctor. He goes, oh, he didn't talk to anybody else. He came straight to me. And he had a couple of guys with him with masks on. He came to me and he said, oh, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to give you an emergency surgery. All your arteries are clogged, every single one of them. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, they're all clogged. We need to give you an emergency triple bypass surgery, open heart surgery. And I said, nah, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah. And they wanted me to do it, and I said no. So one of the guys go, this happens to people that smoke a lot and take drugs and drink a lot. And I said, I got mad and I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Excuse my language. What are you talking about? I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm not doing hard drugs. And I don't drink. What the fuck are you talking about? Who told you this? And he's like, still quiet, like, oh, oops. Like he felt stupid, you know? And I was like, no, I ain't doing it. Sorry, but I just don't feel good. I want to be with my family. You know what I mean? So they sent me back to the room, and one by one, they went up to the room, scaring me, telling me, oh, you should take it because you're going to die. You can die any minute now. The last woman was an Indian chick. She came towards me. They sent her up. She was the last one. I think they sent her up to butter me up so I could go for the surgery. And she goes, look, if you leave, you can die. You can die today. And I said, I'll take my chances. I'd rather die with my family than in the hospital. She said, okay, so I'm going to have to sign some paperwork and you're going to have to sign it that you're leaving against our decision. I said, all right. 30 minutes later, a nurse comes into the room, gives me my paperwork to leave, my discharge papers. And I asked her, what's the other paperwork I'm supposed to sign? She goes, oh, she didn't tell me anything, but she said you can go. So I leave. And I left. I left the hospital and I went to home. I remember that day. I went home, went straight to bed, and then woke up and went to work. And I was fine overnight. I was up all night working and I was okay. A week later, I lasted about 2 more weeks, to be honest with you. It took 2 weeks before I felt that pain again. And when it happened, I freaked out because all I had in my mind was I could die any day now. I could die in my sleep. I could die here. I could die there. Walking. So they inflicted this fear in me that made me want to go back to the hospital. And that's exactly what I did. I went straight to the hospital like a dummy. And I told them who I was, that I was there prior. I had a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. I signed, blah, blah, blah. And they said, okay, boom. Then one doctor came like an hour later or 2 hours later. And mind you, I didn't have no high blood pressure. I didn't have nothing, nothing. I was fine. But I freaked out because of that little pain. So he goes, you sure you want to, we're going to have to take this, we're going to have to do the surgery, but we got to wait 5 days because you were still taking clopidogrel, which is and he told me that it's dangerous if I'm, still got it in my body and they operate, they open my chest up. So I had to wait 5 days in the hospital. After the fifth day, the same day, boom, they take me in at 6 o'clock in the morning. They prep me up. They take me to the room. They give me anesthesia. I don't remember nothing after that. All I can remember is that I woke up in CU, um, seeing my sister and my girlfriend crying by my bedside. I thought I was dead. I looked up at the ceiling like, oh shit, I'm dead? But I wasn't. But they were crying and, they hugged me and my sister took pictures of me and how I looked when I came out of the surgery. I looked terrible. I was swollen. I had my tongue, they had a tube down my mouth, but the tongue was sticking out and it was swollen. I looked terrible, man. Terrible, terrible. Um, but then I started like the weight that the inflammation that I had started going down on me like in 2 days. And they sent me upstairs to the room. Everything was fine. Family members came by, friends came by, seeing great. I was seeing good. I was talking to them, planning my future. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna make my wife better, make her happier. You know what I mean? I told her I'm gonna go and work more and exercise more, that this is a blessing. God just put a stop and made me realize I need to do the right thing and shit like that. And um, like a day later, I wake up with my eyes, lights flashing back and forth, like glimmery, like if there was like one of the doctors came to see me and his badge, I see like lights going around his badge like that. His badge showing his name. And then I would see like little shadows jumping and running like mouse and mices and I'm explaining this to them and they're like they don't know what's going on with me, right? They didn't even have a condition. They were freaked out. They didn't know what happened to me or why am I seen that way? So they get a ophthalmologist to see me. He comes and it was a Chinese guy. He came and he put drops my eye to dilate my eyes so he could look in them. But you know what I realized? That when he put it on my right eye got fucked up. It got messed up. I was seeing less with my right eye now. But I didn't mention it. I did actually. And he said, you gotta be kidding me. You serious? You just saw more eyesight on the right? I said, yeah. And you just put that liquid in my eye and that happened. And he kind of denied it. Oh, that can't be. That's not gonna do that to your eyes. All right. Okay. Whatever. He checked my eyes and then he left. Didn't tell me what happened, what's going on with my eyes, nothing. 2 hours later, a bunch of doctors came in, women and men, and one of them comes up to me. He says, we're sorry this happened to you. This never happened over here. This is a rare very rare thing to happen, and it happened to you. We're sorry that it happened to you, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna get you some X-rays, some CAT scans, blah blah blah. Find out if you caught a stroke, all that crap, right? So I get my scans, my X-rays, everything for the brain, for my chest, everything came out normal. Nothing was wrong with me. My brain was good. It came out normal. And then one of the doctors said, the only conclusion we got is that you got Nion. You lost lack of oxygen in your eyes, and this is what happens when that happens. But we're gonna give you some, what it is. We're gonna give you some um, steroids, strong steroids, because usually we check them in the internet, and that would help. Hopefully, you'll get your eyesight back. So they gave me 80 milligrams of a steroid. I forgot the name of it. It's a known steroid. And what happened was that every day my sugar would be 400, 500. That was raising my sugar. So I told her, listen, I don't want to take this no more because it's making it worse for me, because the higher my sugar is, the worse my eyes are going to get. So they said that they had to continue it. And then they came the next day and said, well, you can go home and make an appointment right away with the ophthalmologist that's seeing you here tonight, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'll go home, you know what I mean? I'll make an appointment. I went to make an appointment and he was on vacation. Mind you, this is an emergency. This was an emergency in my eyes. And the office was on vacation. They were closed for a whole week. Then when I finally got to them, I had to wait 2 months to see the ophthalmologist with my eyes like this. By the time I went to see him, they couldn't do nothing for me. Nothing. You know? I had to ask him, is there a place I can go where they have new technology or something that can help me out? He told me, go to Mass General Hospital as a patient in the emergency room and they'll help you out. So I went over there. I was over there for 2 days in the emergency room. They took tests, they took scans in my eyes, blah, blah, blah. And I heard the worst news ever when they came back, that they told me that my optic nerve was pale. And for those who know about optic nerves being pale, you already know my nerves are damaged. Then they wanted to find out why. How did this happen? Why did it happen? You know? And then they gave me they took spine liquid out of me. They stuck a big ass needle in my spine to see if I have an autoimmune going on. And sure enough, they let me go home. And then like a day later, they called me up and they said that they found a positive for autoimmune. So they're going to send me to a neurologist to continue with the blood work and all that shit and find out what autoimmune is in my body. So they sent me to one in Northampton. I went to the one in Northampton, Mass. I went in there and he was like, I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do for you. Sorry. I don't have no medication here. I don't have anything that could help you out, you know? But I'm going to try to get you back to Boston and you can see a neurologist over there. That's where you want to be at. That's the hub of all the eyes problems and all that stuff. He told me, don't give up. Never say never, man. Don't give up. They have some new technology that's about to break. Just go see the neurologist. I get excited, you know what I mean? When I called to make the appointment, they couldn't make an appointment because he was so booked. I have to wait till April next year to see this damn doctor. A whole year. By then, I probably will lose the only eyesight I got. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. You know, and I've been struggling ever since. Try to see a better doctor. I went to see this doctor in Northampton, an ophthalmologist, because I heard that he did wonders and he helped a young guy get his eyesight back with glasses. So I thought he was the holy grail. I made the appointment for 2 months. 2 months came. I was so excited. And he didn't look optimistic. The minute he saw me, he didn't really want to do anything for me. Um, the first question came out of his mouth was, was you sent to me? I said, no, I made the appointment. Nobody sent me to you. I made it. I heard good things about you, and I'm just trying to find a miracle. He goes, I'm not a miracle maker. And I said, well, I heard you did this, this, and this to a friend of mine, and he recommended you highly. So I'm hoping that you could help me out with at least some glasses, you know? He turned around and said, he didn't even give me an opportunity. He didn't even try to check my eyesight with that thing, you know, to check if I could see better. He just said, you I can't do anything. Your glasses won't be able to help you. And I was like in shock. And my wife started crying right there, like crying. She was like, no, please don't tell him that. Please tell us it's a lie, you know? And he kind of saw her crying and he felt bad. He bought her some napkins. And I said, and I wasn't crying. I held myself up pretty good. And I said, you know, I really thought you was the man. You know, that's why we came here. But it's all right. I understand, you know. And that's it. We left. And my wife was crying all day, crying. She was sad for me, you know. And now it's all about seeing that other doctor in Boston, the neurologist in Boston. I'm waiting on that. Um, and that's about it. And pray to God. That's all I can do. I pray to God every day for letting me wake up with the vision that I still have. And, you know, I'm still alive. I can still walk. I can still move around. I'm not handicapped like that, you know, that you're immobile. I thank the Lord for that 100%. But that's my story. I hope I didn't bore y'all. Anyways, let me get out of here. Make myself something to eat before I go to take a shower and go to bed. With that, I leave you with love, grace, and remember, don't take life for granted. And always remember, your eyesight is the most important thing in your life. Without that, you won't be able to enjoy life. Trust me, you know, you won't be able to enjoy life without your eyesight. Some people do. I be seeing YouTube, but that's because they're in front of the YouTube. But I'm sure behind the scenes they're suffering, you know. So take care of your eyesight. Take care of your health. Take care of yourselves. Don't drink no drugs. Don't take pills. Don't trust doctors anymore. The doctors nowadays, they're nothing like the doctors from the 80s or 90s. You know, these upcoming doctors, they don't know crap. They don't know nothing. And they don't care. They don't care about you. It's only the older doctors that care, that would take care of me. But it's hard to find them. But it is what it is. Anyway, I love y'all. Enjoy your night. Don't forget to pray tonight. If you have family, kiss them, hug them, tell them you love them. And good night. With that, I'm gone. Peace.